This is a 42-pound Siege Coast artillery. This gun was developed in 1822 when they made it. What year is it now?
2023.
How old is this cannon? 201 years old, and we still fire it. Let me tell you the story behind the cannon. This is a Navy gun. It was originally aboard the USS Delaware in the 1850s. Let me step back one step. Some of our veterans, anybody here a Navy vet? Served in the U.S. Navy besides Casey? All right, well, what ships do, occasionally they have to come into port to go through a refit. Okay? So they get upgraded with armor, get upgraded with weapons. So the USS Delaware in 1850 is sent back to the Navy Yard in Virginia, and they're going to upgrade the guns. They're going to modernize the ship. So they take this particular cannon off the Delaware and stick it in storage at the Navy Yard in Virginia. Well, when Virginia succeeds and the war breaks out, the Confederates take possession of the Navy Yard, and they had all these old cannons just laying there. Of course, the Confederates didn't have a whole lot of weapons to deal with, so they took these guns and they shipped them to where they needed to. This particular gun was actually shipped to a fort south of here. Anybody here familiar with Grand Isle, Louisiana? Barataria Bay. Directly across the bay, the mouth of Barataria Bay, is a fort called Fort Livingston. Fort Livingston is where this gun lived during the time of the Civil War. After the Civil War, it was never fired in anger. The fort was abandoned. The gun was salvaged. It wound up in Fort Pike. Does anybody know where Fort Pike, Louisiana may be? New Orleans East. If you've been down that way, you're in St. County Parish, taking the old Highway 90, you're going to drive past Fort Macomb and Fort Pike. That gun eventually gets transferred to Fort Pike. Well, Fort Pike did not have any 42-pounders, and here at Port Hudson we had 3 42-pounders. So the 42-pounder now lives here as an example of what was used here at the time of the war. And on the very back where Mike's standing, you kind of see where that knob is? There's something missing on that little piece of metal there. You kind of see that gap there? What that gives you, that lets you know it's a Navy gun, because what the Navy would do is they would run ropes on the back of their guns on pulleys. And that way when the cannon fired and the rope came back, they would be able to hold that cannon from going clear across the ship. Historically, this gun fired a charge of 10 pounds gunpowder, projectile weighed 42 pounds, and had a range of about 1,900 yards. Very deadly up close on wooden warships. Okay? All right, so we're going to have Owen fire the cannon today. Yesterday was his birthday, so he gets to have a birthday bang. All right? He'll celebrate his birthday and make everybody happy. All right. Now remember, he's a rookie, so if he messes up, don't be too hard on him. All right. Are our cannoneers ready?
Ready.
Mr. Bruce, you ready? I'm going to count down to 3. And upon the count of 3, we will have a lanyard pull. Be sure to cover your ears. 3, 2, 1.